issues which you faced, and how you kept yourself still intact, and what motivated you, and if you have any plans, or if you, from your point of view, if you feel that this could be a takeaway point for all the aspirants, like they should also keep in their mind
Yes,
while
sir.
preparing. Okay,
Yes, sir.
because what happens in SSB is a standard thing. How to perform, you will generally tell like this is to perform, which I'm telling. But after 19 failures, I'm sure you'll have pressure from your parents, you will have pressure from your relatives, if you have any girlfriend, pressure from there itself, and your own self will have, you'll be questioning your own abilities, like why it is happening to me. I'm trying again and again, I'm giving out my best, but still I'm getting confidence out every time. Why is it what I, so these kind of thought process would have been gone in your mind again and again, again and again. How you kept yourself intact, how you kept your motivation alive. I'm sure every day was a challenging day. So from that perspective, you can give your inputs, you can share your thought process, which can motivate them, or which
Yes,
can
sir.
act as a guiding factor for them when they are also coming across such situations. All right,
Yes, sir.
all right.
So the first I would start from my the motivation factor. So during my college days, I graduated BTech Mechanical, and I was part of one TNR squadron NCC. I was also part of Scouts East Chennai district, and after coming to NCC, I got the first exposure of what the military lifestyle was, and going to various other camps. Especially the first experience of a flight, going in a flight, I got it through my CO, and he asked me to hold the stick and to roll. We did a roll. He guided me towards pointing the nose towards the runway, and that feel was really a very beautiful moment in my life. And even before stepping onto the commercial planes, which I'm going right now, before that I got the first ever flight experience in with my CO. So I felt that that was the striking point. Okay, if something that I'm really passionate and interested about going and making such a career in my life, and it's going to be armed forces. So I thought in that moment, or else I would have gone for, I was really interested in science, so that's why I took maths, physics, chemistry in 12th, and then got into engineering, mechanical. I was really interested and passionate about mechanical engineering, about the automobiles, and I was also very interested about aircrafts. After joining NCC, I really got interested, and then that was the driving factor for me towards going into the armed forces. If not, I would have gone to a normal corporate job, or some kind of a daily routine person who wants to fill their financial needs and want to be independent. So I want to become a person something very unique from others, and I manifested that in myself, that I believe that I can do it within me. And I also want to share that during my college days, I was a very fat person. I weighed around 110 kgs, and after 2016 I joined the gym, and for the past 7 years I've been working out, and my current weight is around 80 kgs. So I've reduced a lot, and that process kept me going on, and that was the fire in me. So if I can achieve something great within me, so why can't I try something out, even the armed forces? So that was the first thing that kept me alive in going, whatever the failures may come. So my driving factor towards doing anything in life was my gym. When I go and hit the gym with heavy weights, do a squat or do a deadlift, I get that the fuel and the energy towards to try out anything in life, which gives me the confidence to try out. So my journey started from 2020. I went, my first entry was NCC special entry for flying for Air Force. I reported on Mysore. So as every other person did the mistake, I also went to the board with no idea and with no preparation, and I was not sure that what I'm going to do. But and eventually, I failed in the first attempt. That screened out. I can't take it because I got screened out. And at that point of time, I said to myself, okay, this is the real challenge for me, and this is not going to work if I'm going to be like this. Really, I need to change. And I told to myself during 2020, still I remember when I sat down in Mysore station, I told myself that one day surely I'm going to get recommended. And yes, this is what has happened in the 20th attempt. And after that, my second SSB was within like 3 to 4 months. And second SSB, I did a little kind of preparation. I got conferenced out. And then subsequently, like 2020, I gave three SSBs. And then for 2021 I gave like six SSBs, and 2022 again like six SSBs, and 2023, like this was Coast Guard was including my fifth SSB. So 19 totally 20 SSBs, and in which 11 conference out and one recommendation and eight screened outs. Screen doubts, I would say, is that sometimes, the OAR factor plays a very pivotal role in your screening. Sometimes I may be under pressure. My brain got froze at that time. I was not able to think about the questions and not able to make it on time. So, or maybe due to some mistakes I've committed, I would have ticked the wrong answer, taking the chances. So I felt that OAR sometimes would have gone wrong, and even stories sometimes, I tend to get a little bit nervous before the picture pops up. So uh, once after the picture comes, literally I don't see the picture for 30 seconds. So that was the mistake which I've done. So the thing is, you need to cleanly observe the picture. So it's not about just writing the story. Just try to calm yourself down. There are a lot of, like, I practice like these few kinds of mudras and yogas, so that you can try to keep yourself calm. So keep yourself calm during the when the picture is portrayed, and then once it is being shown to you, just go through the picture. Definitely you will get an idea about it, and then write a story which matches your personality. Like, you would have really done that if a picture is shown to you. So you would have done something great in your life, or any small thing. Even it can be a see, they are not expecting very artificial stories or something like that. Very natural stories. Even if it's a very average stories with good number of accents, it is really good. And after writing the stories, the main part is going through your narration is very, very important. So be crisp and go through your narration as well. So once you're done with the narration, stay calm. If you have narrated really confident, that your story is really good. So just don't compare your stories or keep changing with others. So believe in yourself, believe in your story that it is good. Yes, I'll tell to myself that yes, my story is really extraordinary and I'm going to get screened in for sure. So that gives me the confidence and the calmness to, speak out at that moment. And once I've given it confidently, I know for sure, yes, I'm going to get screened in. And wait for your time doing your group discussion, because everybody will start to jump inside, and you obviously know that fish market scenario is going to happen. And you wait for the turn, you listen to the people. The main quality that I do is that I keep on listening to people. Like, that some people might be talking illogical, so I know them that these people are these points are not valid, so I ignore them directly. And few people, they might be talking really valid good points, so take out the actions that which people are talking about and form a story, and make the discussion to a very constructive way. And don't try to stick on, okay, if people are saying like there are only two characters, some might say three characters, so just you move the group forward. Okay, we are fixing with two characters as the majority, I said, and go with the theme, and the try to build more of the story with the action part, because the action is the more important process. And then finally, if you're not able to nominate a person, fine, you just participate like 2 to 3 times. I think if you speak, it's well good enough. If people listen to you, it's enough. Even if people is not listening to you, if you're giving logical points and building a constructive story, then also it's enough. If the assessors watch you, it's enough. So that is the screening part. So that part, I felt that 8 times I was not able to do it, and one time it was for Coast Guard. And the screening process is little bit different. So they do 2 stages. They send people out. First stage is MAT, they call mental aptitude test, similar kind of OER, but unlike other SSBs, you will not be given a booklet and shown like 50 questions. Here there'll be 80 set of questions which will be projected in a projector. So there will be time bound, like only 10 seconds, 5 seconds. So after that, next question goes. You cannot see the previous question. So you must be very quick in doing that. So at that point, I cleared that OAR round, but the same thing happened in PPDT. Some kind of stress I had, and when you're at stress, obviously some preconceived idea will come to your mind. So which is not natural to the picture what you have written, and it is not matching your personality also. So that is why I got screened out. So these were the screened out times. And conference out. I also felt that in conference I was lacking a lot in general knowledge, not knowing about the facts, what is happening around, and what was the past. The history is very important. The relationships across the various countries which is happening is very, very important. And what are the current happening? What are the military exercises? If you are preparing for CDS, AFCAT or something like that, definitely you would have studied. So within that process, you can just include your newspaper reading as well. And one thing I would suggest is that during newspaper reading, try to do it in the analytical approach. Like, take an editorial, like people would have said some kind of opinions about some kind of issue, so you don't just say what they have said. You just try to understand the problem, what is happening around, and you get the knowledge from various sources and try to form your opinion. And if you get your opinion, you can definitely do well in your group discussion during your G2 as well. So I've been doing this for the past long time. So this is what kept me doing good in the GTO and the GD as well. So coming on to the other conference out attempts, I felt that few attempts, I felt that I'm going to make it in that attempt, and I also felt that Even though I had a good job, after my fifth attempt, I joined Caterpillar as a design engineer, and I was doing good. Also, I was preparing for my exams as well. And in the meantime, what I also felt that when the lack of motivation goes, after so many conference out, one factor what I felt was the exam parts, because mostly I've gone through all direct entries only since I'm an engineer. So I've given AFCAT like 7 times, CDS 3 times, and INET 1 time, Coast Guard twice. And out of these, I've cleared only 1 time Coast Guard written examination. So apart from that, every other examination I've failed, even though putting a lot of efforts. So I felt that my planning was not well. And I also felt that every time when the interviewer asked me, like, why were you not able to clear the examination? I used to tell him the answer, but it was maybe I thought that it was not convincing him. And they had this notion that, okay, you go only for technical entries. There is no, you won't go for written entries. So there was kind of, it was actually happening in my mind. I thought that, okay, because only of this I was not getting recommended. But only later stages I believed that, yes, this is not the factor. Whatever you have done in the past, it's over, done. So what they are saying is your actual performance during your 5 days only. The same answer only I told during this Coast Guard also. He asked me whether you took coaching for AFCAT. Yes, I told him. Did you take coaching for SSB? Yes, I told him. Everything was natural, and I did not hide anything, and I did not take that stress. Also, the during the previous conference out, I was kind of little bit desperate of joining the forces, because like my age was also getting very old, and I've been barred for Air Force flying, which was my first interest, and then Navy flying, which also got over, and my last naval entry was at NSB Visakhapatnam, so that was also, Navy was also gone, and I also felt that, okay, I'm going to stick with this corporate only. I think I'm not going to make it to the forces. So this kept on going it in my mind that I was also a little bit desperate about joining the forces. And then, after later point of time, my best friend who is currently serving in the Air Force Academy, he got recommended in the 12th attempt. What he used to say to me is that be cool, calm, and enjoy your life. Don't think about SSB itself. Because the point is, every 2 months, 3 months, I go to SSB. I do the planning very good. I take leaves. I inform my manager. My manager also knows that I'm going for SSB. He is also very supportive in that. And there are a good number of leaves for in a month for me in my company. So I save my leaves. I plan everything before going for SSB. I inform him. I'll go to my SSB. So I've been very planned, and I'll go to the SSB with good preparation only, I feel. But then still it doesn't work out. But then I started telling to myself, like, where it is going, why I'm not able to make it. Some point of time, that stress factor, it comes unconsciously, it comes to you. Even though you try to be calm and cool, when if suppose the test is going to happen, that stress comes into you. Suddenly, some kind of palpitation or some kind of increased heartbeats. For example, the TAT is going to happen, the officer is briefing you, the first picture is going to pop up. So your mind will be rushing like, okay, what kind of picture is going to come and what kind of a story I'm going to make. So this is what you will be thinking. So the thing is that you don't think what is going to come. You just wait. You just wait, and once the picture pops up, you just focus on the picture. So that is what is required. And even for WAT, my heartbeats will increase a lot, because my thing is to write only 60 sentences and not to see of quality or something like that. The same thing in every conference out attempts. Out of the three techniques, either one of the techniques I will not be able to do it properly. Either it will be psych. Sometimes I will do interview very good, and then GTO also I will do very good. But then in sometime it gets fumbled up, and I'll not be able to do it. And then this time the approach was different totally, and I did not think about recommendation. Previously, little desperation was there, but not getting recommended. At least going till conference was there. But this time, totally, it was very unexpected. With the same kind of preparation, whatever I did, the one good habit I started doing is that I started reading good fiction books. I'm not a good reader. I'm not a frequent reader, but reading has improved my thought process, I believe. So I also request you guys to start reading. You start reading fiction books, like plan your schedule like 45 minutes or 1 hour whenever you get free time. So start reading kind of books and make it a habit. So that is what is required. And this time, the same preparation I did. I went to the board, and then the documentation was over. The psych test started. So I told to myself, I've seen it like 19 times. This is one more time I'm going to see. So nothing new or nothing entirely different I'm going to see. So it's the same old things going to pop up. So I just need to relax and be in the moment, focus. Something is going to pop up which is going to really match my personality, and I'm going to write that story. So the same kind of things, even a negative picture was shown, I took the negative shade of the hero. And also I mentioned the same thing to my interviewing officer. So obviously it was very unconscious. I was not knowing. It came very naturally at that moment. It was not forced, that idea. Okay, so the psychology part was really smooth. I was able to do like 50 SRTs, 60 watts with good quality. I matched with my personality. Like, if, for example, a word brother is given, I associated with like NCC. NCC brings brotherhood. So that kind of a sentence. Try to match with your personality. That is what psychology is all about. And SRT, I was able to do 50. SD also, kind of little bit every time. Once I go, I'll do kind of some kind of fine tuning. And this time also, I've done it and wrote it well. And also, I always take care of my handwriting part during my psychology. So I have a good handwriting. So that was a plus in myself. So I was able to complete it on time. And then our GT was scheduled on the same day of the psychology. And there were, for Coast Guard, there is no outdoor except for GOR and individual obstacles. So there is no PGT, HGT, CT, and FGT. So there were two GD topics, and it was very simple. So the thing usually what I do is that in every other conference during GTO, if more people are dominating, I try to put my point, but nobody listens. The point I felt was I lacked that mental stamina in myself. I was not able to coming up even after people were shouting, or even though they will be talking constructively, or they'll be talking logical points. I'll not be able to put up my points, even though I'll have in my mind that thought process was not quick enough, I would say. So some SSBs I would just not talk at all, and then I'll try to talk, but then people will dominate me, so I'll not be able to give my best performance. Or in some SSBs, that feeling of insecurity, that if what if I'm not able to get the chance to talk, so I'll talk too much. So one both extremes have done, and only then I felt that this is not at all required. You just speak 3 to 4 times with good logical points. That is well enough. With the best quality in GD is that you listen to others. You listen to others. If someone has given a very good point, you can just appreciate that person. You can just frame your own point with that as well. So that is the one big thing I felt, that GD I hardly spoke only 3 times. First GD 3 times, second GD 3 times, 6 times I spoke. That's it. And then GP, I would say that before coming to Coast Guard, I came to Sir's 2-day camp on July 1st. So I got to get a lot of GTO techniques as well. I had a lot of doubts during my GP. Every time I used to have GP, like I've referred like a lot of YouTube channels, everything. Everybody used to tell something, but nothing was comprehensive, and I was not able to understand. Even though I was able to make a fairly good plan, but I was not able to like how the SSB is requiring. So how to write a good plan. So after coming over there, like everything was crisp. Sir advised me like how to approach the test, and also I did the same thing in GP as well. Uh, One thing I would say during GTO is that listen to his briefing very carefully. So you will get all the hints why he says. So that is a very important thing during GTO. As well as once the narrative is given, listen to him. Like when he shows the map, you observe everything and try to frame your plan once he is done with the briefing. So try to please include all the distance and time factor, which most of the people they forget and they don't include. And during the narrative of 5 minutes of reading, make your plan very crisp. And I've seen people like writing paragraphs like 2 pages front and back side, so that is not at all required. You can write very few things and make your plan crisp. And if people are not trying, you try to contribute in the group discussion. If people are not accepting your ideas, okay, you just support with the people. So it's not that okay, this guy is, if somebody is talking illogical, okay, you try to politely, you can tell him that okay, we are having this, so because of which this is going to happen. You can tell him in a way logical manner, so that if he also will agree. So at that point, the assessor might also look at you. And if nothing is working out, you try to give your points. And if the other majority is agreeing to one solution, you go with the group. And GTO is everything is that you go with the group. You are not a single person in GTO. You are seen as a group member. So always believe that before going to GTO, you tell to yourself that everybody in my team should get recommended from GTO, not only for you. See, people, what I've seen is that they have seen themselves competing with others. So I think that perspective should be changed. We are not here to compete with each other. Everybody is here to get selected. So obviously that thought should come within themselves. Okay, everybody should share good ideas, and we need to support each other. That is how the teamwork works. Like take in a football match, if only one person is tackling and going, if other 10 people are standing over there, what is the purpose of a team, right? So I felt that everybody should contribute holistically and support each other, and not show their self in GTO task. And coming to interview, I told to myself, okay, many interviews I've seen, there is nothing new he's going to ask, and yes, I know all the answers. So let's go in and listen to him carefully, be in the moment, take a deep breath before going in, and answer him in a very slow pace. There is nothing to rush during the interview. And even if he does some cross questions, try to think for a few seconds, answer him logically. He's going to leave you. There is nothing he's going to probe you too much. And for interview, I would say is that whatever you know about yourself, write in the PAQ. Unnecessarily, if you keep writing something else in your hobbies or interests, he will probe you too much. And if you're not knowing anything, he might take that you're telling something false. So don't do that during the interview process. And um, what else can I say for interview? Try to be calm, and one more thing what I mistake I have done during my interview is that I used to take seeing the CAQ questions is not a problem. Like what is going to come if you see in the internet or something, it's really fine. But the thing is, you start writing your answers. Like you're going to make a short film. People started writing their own script. So once the GTO asks, your unconscious mind, it is going to that notebook which you had written. So you are going to say, okay, this question comes, okay, like a robot without even thinking, you're going to answer the same question from your notebook. So I've done it like few times. And only later only I got to realize, okay, this is not the way it has to be done. And then I stopped writing those answers and I told myself that I know better about myself. And, I stopped worrying about SSB as well. So that was the one thing I did for this interview, and I introspected myself that what was not going good, and try to analyze your weakness. That is what they are expecting, whether you are knowing about themselves. Like what I can say is that try to analyze the point where you have failed a lot of times, or the things you want to improve upon. For example, like physical fitness or something like that, you want to improve those kind of things. And also, don't forget your parents. They might be scolding you a lot, and you might get even angry. But don't get angry at that point. Think what they're trying to tell. They might be telling you the real truth, which is actually required in the SSP. So this is also have helped me. My mother used to scold me for certain things, but then I took it in the right sense and I analyzed myself. Okay, this is the one thing I'm lacking, so I started working on it. Also, the same thing I told during my interview. So these are the good things that you can do, and please start following a routine. I know it's very hard, and the routine changes for each and every person. Once you get into the academy, it's kind of a very different scenario over there. From every time to time, you will not get the rest and everything. You'll be doing something or the other. So likewise, during your civil life itself, you start doing your routine. Wake up morning, go for a if you're passionate about going to gym or running or any kind of workouts you do, and then come back, take your breakfast, take a shower, and then go do some newspaper reading. Take some around 45 minutes to 1 hour. It's fine if you see YouTube channels or getting to know what is happening around using TV or something. It's fine. But the thing is, if you once you read now, after reading, it will stay in your mind forever. Once you read and you make notes out of your own hand, it will be staying in your mind for a long time. You'll be able to remember for a long time. Whatever you have seen in the TV or something, only for a particular point of time, you'll be able to visualize, and then after that it fades from your memory. So the best practice that I did was I read, and I completed like four big books of 200 pages. So I felt that that helped me in whatever the general knowledge, whatever I studied during my FCAT, CDS. I used to make notes, and every this international relations also, which is very helpful. It gets you to make your own opinion about the countries, what is happening. This in Niger, this coup has happened. In Russia's war is going on. So you make like what is your stand, what India can do. Try to form your own perspective. So that is what is required in GTO as well. So these are the good things you can do, and try to follow your interest, whatever interest you have, and try to follow it. And whatever hobbies you have, try to follow that as well. Don't think about seriously. I'm saying don't think about SSB or recommendation or any of the tasks. The big mistake, what I did was I did not mold my personality. I was watching about the task only. Like if I'm not able to do 30, I only did 36 SRTs during my last SSB, and I was only thinking about how will I able to do like 50 SRTs. The point is not writing 50 or 60 or 10 SRTs. It is you have to mold your personality. Your true self has to be projected during the three techniques. If that is not happening, then definitely you're not going to get recommended every time you get conference order. So I feel this was the time that all the 19 attempts, I felt that all the 11 conferences, few conferences I felt that I was in a borderline case. Conferences took long. They were discussing my profile. This time also conference went around 15 minutes. They discussed my profile really well. And during my conference also they asked me a lot of questions. They asked me about Indo and Maldives partnership. What is happening? What is India's stand? I've studied like before going to the SSB. I did some research about India and Maldives. I got to know about what are the Coast Guard exercises which it does with Sri Lanka. The name is exercise Dosti, and what is the specific. They're not looking into too much depth. They are at least thinking that whether you know some kind of knowledge in general awareness. And also this is a usual question once your conference is going to get over. Any administrative changes that you would like to see? As usual, like every aspirant, I also said no, sir. Everything was fine. But he insisted and he put stress on me, like, okay, you have to tell me. I'm insisting you that you have to tell me that one change you have to do. But the thing was, I did not get stressed at that point of time. I was like, okay, let me think for a second. I'll get the answer. The point is, people are not thinking. If you think now, you'll get the answer for sure. So at that point, I thought for a second, and I found out a problem while we were playing. During our leisure time, we used to have badminton. So in the boards, they have like six non-markable shoes. So there were five pairs of good shoes, and one pair was stone. So one guy he wore that shoe and he started playing inside. So in the middle, some officer he came and he sent him out from the playground. And he said like, why did you wear the shoes? And some kind of problem had happened. So I told the board president, I told them, sir, this was the problem. If that shoe was not kept over there, that person obviously would have got more time to play. And the person who is wearing the good shoes also can share the shoe with that person. So he could have played a little longer. So he also asked me, what did he lose? I told him, sir, he lost his time. He was not able to play. So once you get inside the boat, I also would like to tell you guys is that try to observe the different things. All right. When I went to NSB Vizag, there was this good thing which I observed. You wouldn't have seen this fire extinguisher. It was a kind of a ball thing. So whenever a fire is happening, you just take that ball and throw it inside the fire, and all the fumes come outside, and it will douse the fire. So in even in my office, even in any place, I haven't witnessed any kind of a fire extinguisher. So once they asked in the conference, I told the same thing during my previous SSB. So I would tell you guys to observe a lot of things, what is happening around you, what is there, observe the building, like there might be some kind of maps or fire extinguishers. What are the security things that are there? How is the place? How is the ground? How is the weather? Any animals or birds is coming. Just try to observe these things. This will actually help you during your conference. This will also help you, like they'll be usually asking this question, what are your takeaways or what did you learn from this SSB? So this will obviously get you the answer, desired answer. And please stop thinking about getting recommended. And one thing I would advise is that once you have been graduated, have a solid backup plan, because SSB, it's very uncertain. So it took me like 3.5 years to get recommended at least once. So since I had a very good job and I also got a promotion after my 1 year, so I felt like, okay, even if SSB is not there, I'm doing well in my corporate job. I'll get 2, 3 promotions after 5, 6 years. I will change my department and I can get to one good level of manager position. This is the same answer I told my interim officer also, because I planned my future career for the next 5 years. Even if SSB is not there, I would have gone for this job only. So you think of that aspect. Once you are graduate, if you are going in your graduation final year, then it's a very good chance for you. If you're trying during your NDA, it is a very good chance for you. But then I've seen people like giving 15 attempts, 16 attempts, not even taking up a job. Because the thing is, it is not mandatory to go for a job. At least you need to indulge yourself in some activities. You must be something productive. Some kind of a routine must be happening. The thing is that once you go into a job, when I joined, you get to get a lot of exposure. You will get to meet a lot of new people. You will share ideas. The thought process will increase. You will gain a lot of responsibilities in your office. You will learn a lot of things, and you will know how to behave. With your behavioral also changes. You will learn from your seniors, like how to talk with the manager, how to talk with seniors, how to approach the work. If some kind of your problem solving analytical approach will basically improve. It is not, whatever you have studied something in the college, it is not going to apply in your corporate office as well. It is like a new degree graduate, you are going given like 6 months of training. After that, the same set of things you're being repetitive, you're being going to do. So have a solid backup plan once you are getting graduated, and once you're having a solid backup plan for the next 3 to 5 years, and then give, if you're very passionate, go and give it for SSB, irrespective of the entry. Like as I said, I felt like okay, I'm not going for written entries. That was the reason I was not getting recommended. No, that is not the case. Every entry has its own ups and downs. If you are a technical engineer, they are in need of engineers in the army. Even in the other forces also they are in requirement. Even Navy, they only take engineers. So if irrespective of the entry, you try for every other entry. You just don't give up. And see the factor which is driving you. For me, the driving factor was, I told you, it was gym, lifting weights, focusing on my physical fitness. That gave me the confidence to try out many things in life. I've done, cycling 100, 200 kilometers. I've done many things I've done. I'm very interested in cooking. I've been doing bodybuilding for the past 7 years. And then a lot of things I've been doing. So try to figure out the things which are really passionate about. Even I also did this one. My friend who is in Air Force Academy, he was an aero modeler during his NCC. So I was also very much interested in aero modeling. So we started building a model, and we have finished a model also. So try to figure out the interest, and then start improving yourself, start improving your knowledge, start molding with your personality. How you can do is that, go meet with your friends. I know it is really hard to catch up with friends after once you go into your work or something. Like I know, like people are more constrained about your gadgets, and we don't have enough time to even talk with our parents. So once most of the parents are also working, I know. So once they come from their work, you just casually you just go and ask them like, how was your day, what was happening. Just ask with them. You try to know about their perspective. Be, this good term, be empathetic towards others. Try to read and try to get their emotions as well. If some kind of a friend is having your problem, just go and help him out. If you're able to, if even if you're not able to solve his problem, okay, at least give your ears to listen to his problem. That will obviously solve his 60% of problem. And if kind of neighbors are there, make a good relationship with your neighbors. And then if you're very much interested in some kind of sports, go yourself, indulge, find your time. So the thing is, make your time. Time doesn't come. You have to make your own time. You need to plan your schedule. You need to make your time. So one of my famous my inspiration in bodybuilding was Arnold Schwarzenegger. So what he says is that you need to have a clear vision. So unless you don't have a clear vision, you are staggering somewhere. You are thinking like, okay, one day you will do this and the next day you will do this. So it's not like that. If you want to really get into the forces, you must be really dedicated, and you must fix yourself. Okay, irrespective of what, whether I go to corporate or whether I take up some kind of higher studies or some kind of other jobs in my life, whatever I do it in my life, I want to end myself in the armed forces. So that was the one thing I felt like, okay, if NCC was there, I even tried for Republic Day parade. I don't have any, massive achievements in NCC, but I know that I've given my heart and soul. When we go to the unit, I take up every single job. Even if it was the smallest job, I would do it wholeheartedly and happily. I contributed a lot during my NCC. Even if it was a very, annual training camp for a C certificate or a B certificate, I was part of drill contingent. Everything, whatever I did, did with full josh. Even that pressing of ironing the shoes, polishing of the boots, everything, it was very special and exquisite for me. So that was the driving factor for me. So focus and fix the point. I know it is really hard to get your focus on, but you have to tell yourself, okay, if you want to get to the forces, you need to do it. Nobody else can do it. And even after seeing this, IPL CSK as one. So I used to see like Dhoni's interview, like every other time you fail. So how do you face it? The thing is, every time you fail, you just trust the process. First thing I did was I trusted the process that, okay, I'm going in the right direction, but every attempt I go, it kind of needs a fine tuning. So I found out that, okay, this is the place I need a very good fine tuning. You need to first trust your process. You need to believe in yourself. That is the most important thing. Believing in yourself gives you the confidence. It reduces the fear, the anxiety, everything. It goes away from you. And then you need to introspect like where it went wrong. In only 5% give yourself the time to introspect about the task, whatever you have done. Even if you have written 30 SRTs, it's fine. It's not worth it, I would say. But think in the perspective of your personality, like how were you not able to project yourself during GTO or during interview or during psych? So see, in that perspective, trust the process. So I trusted the process. I basically trusted in me. And then it's very hard. I know, like 11 conferences, every conference out, I was kind of little bit down only. Like out of 250, I'll surely make it to the 29 during screening. And selection rate is also very less. So only 1 or 2% they take. So it was really hard to take. Okay, some attempts. Okay, why am I not getting in? One stage I felt that okay, I'm not going to get it in. But then I got back up. People will go down, obviously, for sure, but don't stress yourself too much also. I would say that if you need a break, if you have gone for SSB like 1 month back, and if you feel like you need a break to mold your personality, then go ahead and take a break. Just by going to an SSB and proceeding to another SSB after a week, it's not going to get into a recommendation. For some people it might, right? For not everyone it's going to take, unless you feel that there is a serious improvement I need to make. But then I started progressing well. I know like how I have progressed when how I started, how the knowledge I had about the armed forces in 2020 and to the current level, I feel that yes. And I also felt that this is going to be the right moment when I get into the forces as well. My job is also pretty well settled up. So this time the expectation was not at all there. Like even if I get recommended, and before the DSO was going to announce the result, my mind was like, okay, even if I not make it, okay, I've given my best. That is what I can do. The rest, I leave it in the hands of God. So I can't do anything. I've given my part. Even if I don't get recommended, I'll come back next time. There are a lot of opportunities, and I always dreamt of joining the forces. I always dreamt of donning the uniform. I always dreamt of doing the POP. My house is very close to OTA. I've been to POP to my batchmates of NCC, and I've seen their parents wearing the stars. I've also imagined my mother doing the same for me. So these were all the, and also people are there in Instagram, and a lot of motivation stuffs are also there. So that was also a really good factor for me. And you can also watch like good movies. Like my favorite was like Top Gun. So many people, you can watch like some kind of war movies. Many people are inspired by this Lakshay movie or something like that. So you can watch this good kind of the movies also which you watch. It will also mold your personality, and it will help you to think in that way. Your thought process will also obviously change when you the content which you see and the content which you read will shape you as a different person. That is what I felt in this attempt, right? So yes, pretty much that's it. And so during the DSO was going to announce the result, I told that okay, next time I can do it. If not this time, I'm going to come to next time. And I also got that confidence. Like I've given 10 times written attempts, I was not able to clear, but I still had the confidence. Yes, I can do it. Last half cat attempt, I failed by 3 marks. So this time, usually Coast Guard they take like Navy with the marks of graduation, they give the call letters. But this time they also made this weird system like AFCAT they started following, and they made it written examination. So I thought like, okay, I was not able to clear AFCAT. I am going to clear CGCAT this time. I also had good number of friends who helped me during the process, and I figured out a good plan. I practiced it, and then I cleared CGCAT for the first time in my life. I've never cleared any government examination. So after 10 failed attempts in written itself, that was the happiest moment. Okay, I have cleared the written examination. I was so happy. But then the process was not done. Still a lot ahead to go. And then PSB I've already given, and I've been conferenced out from Coast Guard, from FSB in last February 2022. PSB I know the process well, and then I practice OAR and PPDD I was being natural. Not the thing is not to write too much of stories, and you can just get to the themes like what is happening and relate with your personality. Try to bring some innovative ideas, so that will help with your psyche. See, if you're trying to be a person who solves problem, trying to think analytically, you can generally do well in your psychology. If you're a person who is kind of reading and then you are putting the same content what you read, that is not going to help you. If you see a problem, like if there is a problem in your bike which is not starting, to try to figure out, if you're an engineer, try to figure out like what might be the problem before approaching the technician. You have a lot of resources. You can put the situation in Google, you can try read something, you can gain some knowledge. So these are all are going to help during your psychology, obviously. So the same theme, it might get applicable in some kind of a picture. So unconsciously you will write the same theme, so that will be matching your personality as well with some kind of pictures. So last I would say is that form a routine, and I know it's very hard to form, and it differs from person to person. You frame a routine and then follow it, and then people who are not working, please try to take up a job. SSB is not the end, and it is not the end of your life. And believe in yourself, manifest good positivity and optimism within yourself, and cheer up yourself, guys. Every time, whenever you fall down, just go speak with your, if you feel like speaking, go speak with your parents or speak with your best friends who will listen to you. And then I had a good number of friends. I spoke with them, and they used to give that mental ability. Okay, they also gave me the push. The friends are also friends, family, neighbors, everybody, your mentors, everybody are the driving factors towards your success. And they'll give you the stamina to withstand anything in your life. So try to follow your passion, and try to have like small goals in your life, short term goals. Like, okay, like I need to wake up at 6 or 5 in the morning. I'm going to go for a run for 1 hour, and I'm going to track my how calories I've burned, what I'm eating, the eating. Be conscious about what you're eating, your diet, your lifestyle. Everything depends on you. It is you. It is entirely you. If you are not changing, nothing is going to change. So that is the one thing I did this time. So it was a very, for me, the SSB 3.5 years, it was like, investing some kind of money for me. So the ultimately, the return which I got was a good recommendation after 3.5 years. I would say I would associate that with myself to finance right now. So manifest yourself with good optimism. And four things I would like to say now. Keep these four things in your mind. Try to be always enthusiastic in whatever things you do. Have this enthusiasm and this inquisitive nature of learning new things. If you are seeing something for the first time, try to learn something from the out of it. You have a lot of resources right now. Try to be enthusiasm, try to be optimistic at irrespective of what. And there will be ups and downs in your life. Try to find peace in imperfection, right? So you would have failed in your examination, but okay, it is okay. Think that you have tried, at least think that you have put in the efforts, even though the result is not fruitful, it's not up to your mark, it's okay. Try, think about the positive things, be optimistic, and have hope. Hopefulness is very important factor. Have hope that okay, I'm going to make it this time, but don't be overconfident as well. Have this hope, and then try to associate yourself, the associate quality. Try to associate yourself with good people, like what they are doing. If something good is happening in your society, go take part. Like even today I saw this cycling rally also, someone has posted in the group. So if you're really interested in trying out cycling, okay, go and try it out. Make a target like, okay, I'm going to cycle for 10 kilometers. Try to achieve. So if you achieve small goals in your life, obviously it is going to make you happy. And this achieving small goals, ultimately it is going to achieve a greater goal in your life. So I've achieved small goals during my school, during my college, be it culturals or any sports, weight reduction, or doing a very unique project during my college, presenting it. I also won a cash award in that, acquiring B certificate or C certificate, anything. So these were the small things which led to this day. The D-Day was recommendation, but I never expected it. That was a very emotional moment I felt. I was the hardest core repeater. I was the person coming after 20. That was the 20th attempt, and people were got recommended around third, fourth attempt. So I feel that okay, whatever hard work, I was the only person I cried during my when my name was told. No, I really couldn't believe. We were filling the medical forms. I still couldn't believe my eyes that I made it this time. That was the happiest moment. And um, that feeling, you cannot express it, you cannot acquire it. That is the best feeling in your life, whatever the hard work you have given. If you're really honest with yourself that you have given the efforts, obviously, and it is going to give a fruit for you. And have the patience, I would say. And also try to indulge yourself in kind of some, I did some kind of spiritual activities. Like I'm a devotee of Sai Baba. I used to read his books, try to learn about the spiritual factors as well. So it also made me calm during my interview as well. So try to indulge. If you're interested, people might be interested in God, in religion, or something like that. So you can all do. See, I believe in everyone. If you believe, if you guys believe in yourself, so that one thing is required. You can make it in the first attempt, or you can make it in the last attempt, irrespective of what. If you believe in yourself, if you have the faith in you, if you being enthusiasm, if you're being optimistic, you can achieve anything in your life. SSB is not the end. Anything in your life you can achieve. You will be able to solve n number of problems in your life. That I can assure you. And try to be a person to learn something. Something is there, you learn from others. So that's all. If people are having their SSB, don't think about your recommendation. One thing I would say, and try to become a person So whatever I said, try to become optimistic, go to your neighbors, friends, do some activity with them. And these are the things which are going to be asked by the interviewing officer. These are the things you are obviously unconsciously you will say, okay, sir, this and this I did with my society. So we had a good time. So these are the qualities I developed, sir. So these kind of things genuinely you can tell. Also, get a backup. I'll keep stressing on this. Get a backup and be independent. I know till college, parents have supported you, but then the time will change. Where one point of time they'll be losing their health, and you need to support them. So first, you need to take care of yourself. Only then you can take care of your family. So how you can take care of yourself with your habits, whatever you're doing, and getting a job, becoming self-financed, becoming independent, and once you are capable of doing everything, you can take care of your family. So everything as a whole person, ssb is a package of whole. Once you become a whole person, then obviously you will get recommended for sure. So don't worry if you're not getting recommended this time or that time. So have that driving force in your mind. Okay, this is what is making me to try ssb n number of times. See, if I'm failing, I want to try it again. That was also the one thing which I had in me. So I felt like, okay, I am able to do it, but if I'm able to make it to till conference, I'm pretty sure that I have the potential of getting recommended, right? So if everybody has the potential of getting screened in and conference, you have the potential of getting recommendation. So don't worry about the results. Don't ever worry about the results. Life has a long way to go ahead. So work on your routine. Try to do some book reading or something which you like, and then improve on your general awareness part. Try to get in-depth knowledge. Do newspaper reading analytically, and then try to mingle with your friends. Try to get along with each other. Try to know what is happening in your family. If any problems is there, try to solve them, or if anything has to be done for your family, take up the initiative and do basic kind of things you'll be doing, right? Going to grocery store or paying some internet bills, telephone bills, you'll be doing. So take up that initiative and do so. So these things, if you do, all the 15 OLQs, indirectly it will get manifested in you. So you need not project, it will automatically come to ssb. So this cannot be done in 1 month, right? So it took me 3.5 years to come to this level. For me it took 3.5 years. For others it may take within 6 months, 3 months they can do, right? So the thing is, you need to be very consistent in doing it. Consistent, being patient, and you need to trust the process. uh, you have to be very determined. I was a very perseverant person. I know, okay, I failed many times, but it's okay to fail a lot of times, but I know for sure that failure is not the end. I'm going to win one time, and I've done it this time. So you have this approach, and if you have this attitude towards anything in your life, you are going to obviously succeed in your life. Not in ssb, everything, even in ssb you will make it through. So don't worry, just chill, relax, prepare for some time. Don't keep on preparing like people who are preparing for like UPSC. I've seen like a lot many hours they'll be keep on studying. So it is not a process of studying. Yes, obviously you need to study what is happening, current affairs. Yes, definitely have that in-depth knowledge. In the weekends, if you are going for a work person, what I used to do is that I used to prepare during my Saturday and Sunday. If I'm taking work from home on Mondays and Friday, my working hours is like 8 hours. So I log in early, like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I'll close by 3 to 4 o'clock. And after that, I'll take my some kind of break, and then I'll prepare for around 2 hours if any examination is coming or if any upcoming SSB is coming. So utilize that time. If you plan your time, obviously you are going to increase your knowledge by studying a lot of things. Do some kind of, try to learn small things. If you're taking like India China relationship, one day you cannot learn everything about India and China. Try to learn facts about like what has happened in the past. Like take 30 minutes of your time and spend. So every day the process is the consistency, how you maintain it. I know sometimes the consistency might get broken off, but it's okay. You also need to take a break, right? So every time you can't be keep on doing like a machine. Machine also needs some time to get off, right? So take some kind of break and then come back, do the same process. Uh, Importantly, trust the process, and obviously you will sail through for sure. I believe. So have that self belief in you guys. So I believed in me. I trusted in me. I trusted the process. I had faith in me. So I felt that that is what got me through this time. So anything, if anything is going on in your mind, you can ask me.
And this time, obviously, you would have undergone this dilemma that after 19 attempts,
Hmm.
is it good to go for coaching again, once again?
Okay.
How CCDA and listening command rumors are helped you to shape you and to build some confidence in you. So, can you share about that?
Okay, so I've been to I won't say a lot, but Vimal sir was my third person who I approached. So first I went for SSB Sure Shot Academy. It was like they gave a very generic approach of what is happening, and I was not getting to from their techniques. I was not able to get know about myself better. They said like, okay, these things you need to do it, but then even though after doing it, the planning or the methods which I followed was not working out. And then I also went to one named Target Wing Leader Defense, which is in Instagram. So they were doing pretty good. From there, I was able to get to know myself little better from the previous time, but then still I was not able to make it up for the next 1 year. And then I came Karthik Raja, who is working over there. He was my NCC batchmate, so I got to know from him. And when I came to June 2022, Vimal sir was there in my screening process. Also, he was the GTO over there. So I've seen him before, and it was his last day of selection, also last selection day. And from Karthik, I got to know him. I followed his Instagram post. I felt that okay, I can get a good guidance in, especially in GTO part. So I approached. I went for this 2 day camp. My Navy SSB, it was scheduled on June 5th. It was reporting was on Visakhapatnam. So I took the risk. Okay, fine. I want to learn something. I took the risk and I came on July 1 and 2. So I learned a lot. The first process that I got to mingle with a lot of people and got to know about themselves and their knowledge, their perspective, and about Sir's technique. It was really good. The approach was really well organized, I would say. And then the structures about the PGT, HGT, and all, it was explained in a well, articulated manner. And then yes, I was facing a difficulty in GPE as well. So I asked sir like how to approach. I used to have a good plan, but I was not able to put down in the paper as well. So I asked him. So he said, okay, do this, do this. This is a very simple way to write. So I followed this. I followed the same thing this time. So I feel that whatever things that I wanted to learn in GTO, like how to do that basic bridging, how you would have studied. This is your basic physics. So how to apply that physics over there, and how your body language, your points, how you speak, and how much time to speak, and the one quality which they told was I was doing this mediocre job over there. So Jayvel sir also told me like, okay, you shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. So it takes into a wrong notion that you are kind of a person who is dominating the other guys over there. So please don't do it. So I started following it from the last previous two SSBs. So I got to, very good approach about the GTO part. So that's why I believe that I was able to do it this time well.